Hello, my name is Brian Mitchell. I work for PMA Companies. We are contracted with the state of Vermont to provide workers' compensation management, general and auto liability, and we also provide risk management services, safety and health related. I am the certified ergonomist responsible for the state of Vermont contract and have been doing this for just over 3 years here in the state. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about remote ergonomics and some of the tips and tricks that you can do in your home to try to get that home setup a little more ergonomically ideal for you. With these unprecedented times and more people now working from home for the foreseeable future, uh, this has become a ever important topic and one that's becoming um, more and more evident as we spend more time at home in these makeshift workstations and working with what we have. So hopefully today you can learn a little something to help set that up a little more ideal for you. First of all, it's really important to designate a specific area of your home to be your ergonomic full-time workstation. This photo is my desk, so I'm fortunate in that I have a desk in my home. If you don't have a desk, then a table will do just fine. But really, you want to have a particular room that you can have set up with your full-time computer workstation. You don't want to be moving your laptop or tablet around, working on the couch, working in bed. Those are some things you definitely want to avoid, but even bouncing around from the kitchen counter to your dining room table and then outside on the porch, you really want to have a full-time workstation so that you can have everything set up correctly for you, and every time you go to work you're going to be in the correct ergonomic position. Next, I'd like to talk about typing posture. There's three main checkpoints when identifying the correct typing posture. You want to have your shoulders relaxed, elbows by your side, and your forearms at a 90 to 120 degree bend. As you'll see in the photo there of me typing, my forearms are just below that 90-degree bend, so I'm within that 90 and 120-degree bend. I'm fortunate as well that my desk has a pull-out drawer on it, so I can move my keyboard and mouse down to that, which will help me type at the correct height. Uh, Typically, most desks are at 30 inches from the tabletop to the floor, which is too high for most people. Typically, that typing height is for someone that's anywhere from 6'3" to 6'5". So most people aren't that tall. So for most people, regular desk height is going to be too high. So there's a couple things you can do to try and correct that. If you have a keyboard tray or a pull-out drawer, such as my desk, that works well. Otherwise, you may need to bring yourself up to the desk height so that you can maintain good typing posture with the desk height that you have. That may mean raising your chair up higher, using some sort of foot support. If you have a footrest, that's great, but if not, a box or a carton, something that's hard and stable that you can put under your desk and put your feet on so that your feet are still supported. But you do want to elevate that chair height so that you are in the correct typing posture. All right, for your laptop or monitor setup, so you want to have your eyes line up with the top of the screen. As you'll see in the photo on the right there, my monitor actually lines up with the top of my screen, and as you'll see, the tablet is just below it. It's important to note that I do not use the tablet for my work. It's just for mirroring purposes, so that just shows exactly what's on my monitor. If I was trying to use both of those screens, I would actually want to put my tablet up on a box or a stack of papers or something and actually put it on the left or right side of the monitor rather than in front of it. However, I do not use it in that fashion. It's just for mirroring purposes. So that's why I have it set up how I do. You really want to avoid working solely off a laptop or a tablet if possible. Um, Tablets and laptops kind of have a design flaw from an ergonomic standpoint in the sense that it's impossible to be at both the correct typing height and the correct screen height without the use of additional equipment. If you do use a laptop and you don't have a monitor at your house, then you want to put your laptop on a stack of papers, a monitor stand, a box, anything you do you can to elevate that height. And then you want to use an additional keyboard and mouse, not the ones on the laptop. So that will bring the screen height up, and then you'll use the additional equipment to actually be in the correct height. As far as seating options go, if you have an adjustable task chair, that's great. Something like I have here, it's not the best chair, but it does the job. It has the height adjustability and it has some decent back support to it. So I've definitely seen a lot worse chairs for some people that are working in their homes. And I'm sure some of you can attest to that as well in your house. So if you have an adjustable task chair, that's great. Try to set that up. Again, if you need to raise it for your desk height, then certainly do that. If you don't, then at the very least, you want to use a chair with a backrest. You don't want to use a stool in your house. That's really going to require you to use your back muscles all day long to keep yourself in the upright position and in good seated posture. And that's really going to take a toll on you throughout the workday. So at the very least, you do want to have a chair that has a back to it. And if you need to throw a small couch pillow behind it for some lumbar support, if it's, say it's a wooden chair, and then, you know, maybe an additional cushion on the seat itself for some extra support. Those are some suitable options you can do to try to make that chair a little more comfortable and supportive for you. As far as medicine balls, I would not suggest using those as a full-time chair anyway. If you want to use them for 10, 15-minute periods at a time just to get a little bit of movement, that's okay. But same idea as the stool, those do not have a backrest, and you're going to be relying on your back muscles, actually even more than a stool, to keep yourself balanced and upright throughout the day. So certainly would not recommend using those as a full-time chair. As far as phone calls go, using headphones or a headset as much as possible is certainly suggested. If you have to take a lot of phone calls, you really want to avoid cradling the phone between your neck and your shoulder. That can cause neck or shoulder issues. Or even if you get stuck on a long phone call and you're holding the phone to your ear for 20, 30 plus minutes at a time, you're really going to start to notice some arm fatigue, and you might have some numbness as you hang up from the phone. So you want to use those headphones or a headset, much like I am in the photo there. Also, if your room is quiet enough in your house and it works well for you, then using speakerphone is perfectly fine too. So just putting your phone on speaker and talking on that. But you do want to be hands-free in one way or the other to help keep you in good position. All right, and then as far as micro breaks go, this is a really important one when working in your house. You want to get up every 2 to 3 minutes, get up for 2 to 3 minutes every 30 to 45 minutes. And that's going to limit long durations of static posture. Anything much more than 45 minutes in the same position is considered prolonged static posture. Tends to lead to muscle stiffness, muscle soreness. Your posture tends to decline as well. So taking these brief periods to actually get up from your workstation and get a little bit of movement, whether that be stretching, walking around the house, getting a glass of water, whatever it may be, to actually just break that posture and take a break for a couple minutes, and then you can return to your workstation. It's really important to take these, especially in our home office setups, as they may not be quite as ideal as possible, in comparison to many office setups. So taking these is a really important step to make sure that you're staying healthy and fresh all day long, and you don't start to have any discomfort or fatigue start to build up. So just to summarize some of the habits to avoid, I kind of put together some photos here. Starting in the left, uh, top left photo, that's what I meant by raising the chair up to the desk height, which this woman did, and that's great. However, you can see that she's kind of tippy toeing there on her toes and doesn't have anything to support her feet on. So she would want to add a footrest down there, or at least a box, something stable to put her feet on. As far as the top, middle, and the bottom right photo, you don't want to be setting up on the couch or in bed with your laptop trying to work there. It may seem like a enticing spot to work. One of the perks from working from home, staying in your pajamas and being on something comfy, but it's actually going to do more harm to you long term than being in a correct work environment at a desk. So you really want to avoid doing those things. As far as the top right photo, that's again with the medicine ball, and additionally, she's using her laptop, as well as the lady in the bottom left photo. As you can see, much below both of their eye heights, and you can see in the bottom left photo that it's actually causing that woman to hunch over. And it may look a little exaggerated, but it really isn't, especially as you get caught up in your work and you really get focused. You're not paying attention anymore to your body position, and it's very common to put yourself in an unnatural and an uncomfortable position like that and not notice for hours on end as you work. So really important to help get yourself set up so that you can stay focused on your work and not have to worry about being in the correct posture. And then the bottom middle photo, again with the phone calls, you want to avoid doing the cradling there between the neck and the shoulder. So using speakerphone, using headsets, using headphones, anything like that are some suitable options. As far as additional resources go, I did put together a little tips and tricks sheet that you can access through the State of Vermont website if you choose. If you go to the Department of Human Resources and then information resources for COVID-19, and then the document is called Remote Ergonomics Tips and Tricks at Home. Feel free to access that, and that can help give you some reminders of how to set things up. Thank you very much for listening in today. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email using that email shown on the screen there, and I'll be happy to help however I can. Thank you, and have a nice day.